How's it all going? Just a quick update on what happened last night with the Junkie Gang tourist attack, and just an update on what's going on with the incident. So basically, last night basically the backstory. I'm a black cab driver, and I've been doing the black cab Glasgow for around about 20 years. And I do some other things as well on the side, obviously legal things, and I do black cab as well, night shift. So over the years, you've seen everything, you've experienced it all. The violence, the good, bad, and ugly. Let's just call it that. And fights happen all the time in the city centre, especially around about the old firm games, Celtic and Rangers. There's a lot of violence. A lot of deaths, a lot of murders. I feel that the media don't really, they sort of turn a blind eye. They don't really report it. So they don't want to give Glasgow a bad name. But just a black cab driver, like night shift, you see it firsthand. You know what it's like. You hear all that sirens going off every 5 minutes, the police, the ambulance. So you see it, fights happen all the time. So this wasn't nothing, this wasn't new. It was just another fight. So at the time, I never knew what happened, what the backstory was. In hindsight, I should have jumped in and helped the tourist guy. But at the time, like I say, I don't know if it was over drugs or what, or whose fault it was at the start. Or a lot of times with junkies kind of fight, it's over sort of debt, over drugs. Somebody owes somebody a tenner or whatever. Somebody owes somebody a bag of kit, and they'll start fighting. And then the fight usually lasts a few seconds, and then they all fuck off and all that. So I thought it was just another wee scuffle. But the fight actually went for a long time. It actually ended up quite serious. The CID, I've just gave the footage today. They've made the one arrest. The girl with the crutch that attacked the tourist guy just above the eye. She's been arrested. Hopefully there are more arrests. So basically the story was the tourist, he got a train from London. He was going to Edinburgh. He fell asleep in a train. He came off at Glasgow, and I think he left his phone in the train or something, and then basically he was walking about, wandering about. He was there for a couple of hours. I think he had a beer or something, and then he came round about the central station area with the umbrellas, Argyle Street, and that's where the junkies approached him. They said to him to give over his beer, and he declined, and then they said, give me your money and stuff like that, and then he declined, and then some words exchanged, and they started attacking him, and then that's when I was passing by and I started recording it. So that's what it was, and then like I say, the fight went on for quite a while, and I went over and I tried to calm him down. They took off his bag. He had £400 in his bag, his documents. So they fucked off with his belongings, basically robbed him. And I phoned the ambulance. Ambulance never came. The ambulance was saying 5 hours. They said 5 hours because they were so busy last night because the nightclubs were opened here in Glasgow. They came after about 2 hours. At that time, the tourist guy fainted, I think, twice. He was cold. He was shivering. He had a big cut above his eye. And the CID, like I say, I gave him a statement. We'll hopefully go to court. And he had no money. I gave him some money. I gave him a bit of money, helped him. I gave him. I done what I could to basically help him the best I can. But like I said, initially I never knew the story, what happened, what it was. For me, it looked as if they're together and they've had a disagreement and they're fighting amongst themselves. For some reason, he was a tourist, but for me, he looked like a local guy. Obviously, afterwards when I spoke to him, he just arrived in Glasgow, but just a backstory. Just basically the update is one of the junkies that attacked him and gave him that serious injury in the head. She's been arrested, and hopefully more arrests will come in the next few days.